Good morning. I trust you're doing well today. So, we've been talking about what influences you, what's behind your actions, what are the things that, motivate you, and those kinds of things. Well, it boils down to a simple thought of what's your why? What's the why that you do what you do? Jesus in John chapter 6, verse 38 said he came down to do the will of the Father. That was his why. That was his why behind everything from the picking of his disciples to the throwing out of the money changers in the temple. Everything he did centered upon why, his why. And I guess the question is, why do we do what we do? Yesterday, I was driving, and I was driving for a long time, probably 6 hours, 6.5 hours of driving. Most of that was in the rain. And I thought, why do I push so much? Why do I have to get to a destination in the least amount of time with the least amount of stops and, all of those things? Now, some of you may say, well, Bernie, that's because you're a guy and that's what guys do. Well, I suppose that's true, but I don't like it. I wonder what motivates me. And I made a list, as I said the other day, of 26 things that, could be things that influence me. In fact, I'm sure they influence me at different times and different seasons. But when I think about the why, I have to get down to the baseline of why I do what I do. Why am I wired to react and respond the way I do? Why do I do the things and think the way that I do? And what's the motivation ultimately behind everything that I do? What's my why? So I'm working on that. I hope you are too, because I think ultimately it really, it tells us a lot about ourselves and the direction that we're going. And I want to end up in a place, that's right. I don't want to wind up in a place and scratch my head and say, I wonder how I got here. I don't want to do that. I want everything I do to be purposeful and thought out and, have direction. I hope you do too. But you see, the thing is that we can be projected into things and directions that, we have no control over because the thing that's behind our why maybe isn't healthy, maybe isn't that good to be following after. So my challenge today is simple, just to think about what is your why? What's the reason you get out of bed in the morning? What's the reason you do what you do? What's the reason that you live your life the way you live it? I read something yesterday where a child said to their parent, "You've lost your joy." And that really hit me because I think sometimes if we're not doing our why, we don't have joy. And joy comes from doing what we're supposed to be doing, what we've been destined to do. Think about that today, would you? Until next time, God bless.